Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. I'm Empress Rose. These are general readings. We take what works, we leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline in this reading, go check your other major placements. All right, we're starting off with the Oracle decks of Moonology and Urban Crow. And then we're going to move on to the Muse Tarot for a more traditional spread. Something else in here? All right. Yep. That flipped around. Fascinating. Scorpio just got a couple of these cards. Well, it's fascinating to me, maybe not fascinating to you. All right, here's the first one we got. New Moon in Aries, it's time to take action. I love this card because it's very clear. It's not a passive card. It's something for you to do, for you to move forward, for you to move your agenda, your desires forward into the world. It's time for you to take action. It's literally the clearest card in the deck. It's time to take action. I like this one. This one's more passive. This one's the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So something could be revealed. There could be some sort of conversation. There could be some sort of indiscretion where something is accidentally revealed to you. Something that you don't see now, you will see and understand, probably through a conversation or some kind of communication coming in. I like it because it is I like them all, apparently. I like it because it's passive, and it's just, you just gotta wait a minute. More is going to be revealed as time goes on. So whatever you're wondering about or thinking about, it's coming. The understanding of that is coming. And then we got distraction. So something sort of just, these two crows are working together to distract this puppy from his food. They're stealing his food while showing him this thing over here. So there could be something that's a distraction in your life that's distracting you from what you need to be doing, what you need to be focused on, that you're missing out on something real for something that's just sort of noisy and makes a lot of noise. It's interesting with this dog in here. I feel like there's something about the bark is worse than the bite, or paying more attention to something that's barking than to something that's biting. So because that bark has got your attention, but there's some biting that you're not paying attention to. Something worse, or something worse, something that you need to pay attention to. And it doesn't even have to be bad, like biting. It's just there's a little bit of distraction here from what you need to be working on. It's time to take action, what you need to be listening for. You might be listening for the wrong thing. Like the answers you need are coming. You know, we have this crow really talking. So it might be more about what's not being said, or more about, you know, sometimes people can talk and they're very blustery and they're like, look over here, look at this, look at this, look at this. And what you really need to be paying attention to is what's over here, that they're trying to distract you from. They don't want you to look at that. So I guess I'm just coming up with some, you know, examples of things that, you know, are yeah, being distracted from something, having some sort of blustery conversation. In this conversation where the answers you need are coming, there could be something you need to pay attention to that you're trying. Someone might be trying to distract you away from something that would be beneficial to be paying attention to. And then we have these two cards popped out, and they are luck and believe in the impossible, blue moon. So this is being open to receiving good luck. Sometimes we can get a little cynical and think that these things that are for our benefit, you know, okay, what's the hidden cost? There's no such thing as a free lunch. We have all these ways of diminishing this, and it's important to look at, right? Especially with this distraction, we want to be making sure we're paying attention to the right things. But that's not to say that good luck never happens, or good things don't happen. Good things without strings attached don't happen. So there's some sort of lucky incident here, and the book is very clear that this is something coming into the future that is for your benefit. It is good luck, and then believing in the impossible. So so those two together look really beautiful. Blue moon, something Both of them reference something very unusual coming up here, and being for your benefit. So maybe don't get distracted by a bunch of smaller things, by a bunch of insignificant things, because maybe something really great is coming in for you, and getting distracted by smaller petty fights or smaller things will keep you from enjoying this really cool thing that's coming in for you. All right, Sagittarius. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. All right. In your recent past, we have this Knight of Emotions. We have a Knight being communication, emotions being emotions, cups. So we have this Knight of Emotions, emotional communication, but this also represents emotional growth. We're on our way, sort of, in the progression of the tarot, we're on our way to being a king of emotions, and being more full emotional maturity. So this Knight of Emotions with this spiral shell here represents a lot of emotional growth. It can also represent communication and movement towards emotionally fueled movement and emotionally fueled communication. So it's not always love and the happier, wonderful, more beautiful, most pleasant smelling feelings that we have. It is about like emotional growth and emotional communication, and movement based in emotion, which is not wrong and not bad, as long as we filter it through the other things that we want in our other goals. But this was in the past, there was maybe some very emotional communication. This one always comes off a little like sloppy to me. Like there may have been some imprecise communication that may have that was more emotional than accurate, more emotional than precise. It is part of some sort of growth process. It's in the middle of that. And so we can expect a little bit of, sloppiness as we learn how to do things, or as somebody else, it may have been someone else that came to you, because it is a Knight of Emotions. It could be a person, it could have been someone that you were interacting with, and the communication was a little sloppy, but was in a quest towards may have been in part of a quest towards a clearer understanding, right? Because before we get the clear understanding, before we get to the king, there's many decades and a lot of work goes into learning how to communicate better, and that involves a lot of mistakes and a lot of learning experiences, really. And that's not just a phrase, that's the reality. A lot of opportunities for learning and opportunities for growth. So the Knight of Emotions I see as sort of some inexpert communication, but it's all part of growing and part of learning. And so this communication may have been a little inexpert, because with just some opportunities for growth with communicating emotions. And so in your current situation, we have some Seven of Materials here. This is being very focused on the work and hoping for an outcome, waiting for the outcome, waiting for things to come to fruition. There's a real like putting in the work for future benefit. So there's a sense of having done a lot of work and still there's more to do. And we've really postponed. This is definitely not a card of instant gratification at all. This is something where you've been able to shelve instant gratification, look at the long road, look at the long haul here, and behave in ways where you're really focused on an eventual outcome that you want. So it involves patience. It involves not really, or it could be a forced patience, right? Generally patience. Once we start thinking about patience and thinking about having patience, we're starting to lose patience, because it's either there or it's not. And so maybe this communication in the past was a little bit sloppy, a little bit like trying to get some immediate gratification. Now you're really focused on long-term growth, long-term results, and making sure your communication sort of is, there's a lot of control that goes into this and self-control that goes into the Seven of Materials, as far as just focusing on the work and the long-term results, and waiting for those long-term results. And then in your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, we have this Ace of Materials. Ace of Materials is the beginning something. So we have Seven of Materials. We've got a couple materials here. So we might be really referencing something physically happening in your 3D universe, your tangible universe. So Ace of Materials, the beginning. You're hoping to start something new. Or you might be worried about having to start something new. Like with this Seven of Materials, this Ace of Materials could be a fear. Like, have I put a bunch of work into something that that isn't going to go anywhere now? Now do I have to start something else new? So that could be a fear that we're dealing with. The Ace of Materials could also be a hope that you've put in the work and now you'd like to see some first fruits. You're looking forward to seeing the fruits of your labors, of whatever you've been working so studiously on. The Seven of Materials is very much about the results of something, working toward a specific result, towards something. Ace of Materials might be really wanting to see that manifest in reality, because Seven of Materials is interesting because it is all about the tangible, but Seven of Materials is specifically referencing all the work that goes in before we get to the tangibles, the tangible results. So the Seven of Materials is about that focused effort and focused work before we see the results. And so Ace of Materials is like, I'd like to start seeing some results here. So really wanting to see some results, and it could be also a fear that if there aren't results, you're going to have to start all over in a new endeavor with a new thing if we don't start seeing some payoff for your work and your labor. What's at issue here is the reverse hermit. I don't like, whoa, the reverse hermit here, that's rocking my world. The hermit upright is you following your own light, you taking time out, you taking time out from your labels, from the things you're supposed to be doing, your obligations, and really making sure that you're more following your heart rather than trying to people please and follow somebody else's ideas and expectations. And the hermit sees it's one step at a time, and it's a very solitary thing. So you may not have invested enough time, or you may be in need of investing some time alone, investing some time on what you really want. Was this Seven of Materials, this thing that you've been working for, was that something you wanted or something somebody else wanted from you? Like, who are you trying to please with all of this work, is what the hermit in reverse brings up. Is who are you trying to please? Is this your path? Have you put in a bunch of work on your path and now you're waiting for results? Or have you put a bunch of work on someone else's expectations of what your path was supposed to look like and now you're waiting for results? The hermit could also be people pleasing, not taking time out for yourself, too many expectations, too many labels, not being on your unique path, but being on a path that's laid out to you that might look similar to the one you want, but isn't quite the one you want. The expectations, meeting expectations, other people's expectations that are not necessarily in harmony with what you want and with what your heart's calling you to do. So you may be on a path that's not necessarily even a life path. This could just be one project or one relationship where you're more focused on what they want than on what you want. So the hermit in reverse here is really something to think about. It has to do with you personally and your personal choices, and a disconnect from the heart, a disconnect from your path. It might have just been one little step that's not quite, we can't be perfectionists about this, so I don't want to say one little step you didn't quite get right, but there's something here about you not being in step with yourself, and it might just be a little tweak. You don't have to be perfect, of course, for luck and for this stuff. You don't have to be perfect. But so I'm trying to avoid, I want to avoid some sort of like, you just need one little tweak and then you'll be perfect idea, right? Because that's BS. This could be not feeling like you know how to manage your life, or feeling insecure about your next steps, not being able to see the next step. This could just be not being able to see the next step, how you get to the results part of the work that you've put in. Yeah, not being able to see the next step and being a little out of step with yourself. And then in your environment, you have the priestess. So there's something being hidden from you. The high priestess, I like this card. Obviously, to me, this is the tarot card, where we're seeing what can be revealed, what the universe is willing to reveal to us, and what can be revealed to us for our best benefit, and what, and then obviously we don't know what's not being revealed to us, but a request for some sort of revelation, a request for something to be revealed. So that could be part of this. The answers you need are coming, a request for something to be revealed, because this is about not knowing some things and knowing something. Like you might know that something's being kept from you and that you need information, and that you don't have that information, and it doesn't necessarily have to be being kept from you, but that you don't have that information, and you need certain information. And so the focus is on knowing that you don't know something and waiting for that information to come in. And that's a little bit of this too, knowing that you don't know, knowing what you don't know, not knowing what you don't know, but knowing that you don't know, knowing that there's something you don't understand, that you're not seeing the full picture, that there are things that can be revealed and things that cannot be revealed. So wanting, there's something in your environment that is only partially revealed. More will be revealed. The answers you need are coming, but in your environment right now, there are some answers that you don't have, that you're waiting for, that you really need moving forward. And it's coming right underneath this Knight of Emotion. So it could be relating to a past emotional conversation that was had, where it left maybe more questions than answers, or at least as many questions as there were answers. So this High Priestess card is about things not being revealed and things being revealed. So this too here, right? We're revealing something really loudly while keeping something else very secret and very hidden. We're revealing something really loudly over here. Pay attention here. Well, there's this other thing that's being done in secret, right? So there's all three of these cards are referencing something being done, something being revealed, something being seen, something being spoken about in a way that's really obvious, and then something secret, something you can't see, something being hidden here. So what's being revealed could be like, or what you do know, someone could be like, pay attention to this, and don't pay attention to this other secret thing that I'm not talking about. So that's something that's going on in your environment. In your current, your to-do list, the energy you need to interact with is this page of materials, which I forget who it was, but I was calling it the baby of materials. Just the baby, just the beginner mind, really learning about something. It's materials, so it's something tangible. So it's coming under the 7 of materials. So you've already put a lot of work into something. We have 2 beginnings here, Ace of materials and Page of materials. So you're hoping for a new beginning. Maybe you are the new beginning. Maybe you have to restart something. The 7 of materials, you've put a lot of work into something, waiting for its results. And this, we're not talking about results. We're talking about becoming a beginner again. Becoming the baby of materials. You're just becoming a newborn babe. Pretend like you don't know anything. And, this could be part of that conversation. Okay, pretend I've never heard this before. Please start at the beginning and tell me about this thing again. I need to know. And tell me again how this all started, or something like that. So there's something about the beginning here, and there's something about needing to begin again and start something. You can see where this might be going. You have a vision. So this could be this Ace of materials, like starting a new job. You've put a lot of work into something. It hasn't, you're still waiting for the fruits of these labors, which is great. You had a long-term plan. You were thinking about You weren't going for immediate, instant gratification. You put a lot of work into something in a long-term plan. This is saying either become a beginner again and get back into beginner mind with this, revision the plan. And it looks like with this hermit in reverse, you might need to, I was saying like you're kind of a misstep, a step aside, and that's a little bit here. We're envisioning where we want to go, but we're not there. We're like a step off of the reality, a step away from it. And there's a path to it, but it has to be your unique path. So this page of materials, this is your place of greatest growth, becoming a beginner again, beginner mind, seeing something, starting something new. This could be a new job, like starting a new job. Maybe you've put a lot of work into the job search and now you finally get to start a new job. But maybe you've put a lot of work into another job and you just haven't seen the fruits of your labors manifested, or you've put a lot of work into something and you haven't seen it started. So maybe you do need to start something else, right? So it could go a couple different ways. You're going to know the best way for that. So your focus right now, your area of greatest growth, is to become a beginner, start something. Learn a new skill. It's very tangible. It's very much like get a new apartment or something new that you have to learn. It could be a new job is the thing that comes through here, but something new that you need to learn physically, and you need to be open to not knowing and open to becoming a complete beginner, the baby of the situation and the materials, and learning something completely new. And usually it's a skill or something very physical. A possible outcome here. Yeah, I'm so glad these showed up, because these are some real bright spots. Luck, believe in the impossible. Nine of inspiration. The wounded warrior, you've been through a lot. Keep walking, keep going. What's that saying? If you find yourself in hell, keep walking, because don't stop and sit down there. So this is the wounded warrior. Keep going. There might be some exhaustion, some loss of inspiration, especially if you've been working on something for a long time. A loss of inspiration, a loss of excitement for something, and yet you live to fight another day. Keep going on some kind of path. You feel ready to quit. You feel ready to call it quits. You feel tired and depleted, and maybe even you've been lost a time or two here. You've been confused, but you're going to keep going. There's something here still for you. So even though you've put a lot of work into something, it seems like maybe it just needs a little tweak, or you need some more information, but you're not supposed to. I'm not seeing anything here about quit. I mean, obviously, if that's what you want to do that. But I'm not seeing anything here about quit. I see about going back to the beginning, going back to beginner mind, trying to see what you've missed before, what you were too distracted to take in. And to keep going. And maybe it's just to keep going in life in general, even though you're depleted and you're wounded and you've just come out of this like desert and wilderness and you'd really like to quit. But it says you to keep going. That's the possible outcome here, is that you keep going towards something. You keep moving, keep working towards this goal that you have, even though the results you're looking for results, but they're not here yet. All right, Sagittarius, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments, and I'll see you in a fortnight.